In this individual interview, Mr. Richmond, aka Rich Dog, is having trouble balancing his family with his fraternity that he has been a part of for 37 years. I have been seeing Mr. Richmond for over a month now, and it seems that he's converting over from being the Mr. Rich Dog to Mr. Richmond, a husband and a father. Miss?
Whoa! Hold on! What's up? What's up, man?
Hi, Mr.
What's
Richmond.
up? Good to see you again.
How are you doing?
What's up, man?
Have a seat, Mr.
So what's up? What's up?
Okay, so how have you been? I see you.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you, I just got back from the conclave. I can't tell you how much fun I had. Bro, we out.
Really?
Out. We out.
So where's your wife and your son?
Who? My son. I guess they're at home.
Mr. Richmond,
Yeah.
have you been
Call
home?
me Rich Dog. That's what call me Rich Dog. That's what everybody call me.
Mr. Rich Dog.
Yeah.
Have you been home to your family this week?
Saturday when I packed my clothes to leave.
Saturday.
Yeah.
And what did you guys do when you went home Saturday? Before you left?
What guys? My frat that brought me by the house to get my clothes.
Your family. What did you do? What did your family do?
Well, she was, I left him a note.
So you didn't spend any time with them?
I didn't see him when I got there. My son was upstairs doing homework or something.
So what were your most important moments when you first joined your fraternity?
Oh, road trip.
Road trip. I bet there was something.
Road trip, man. I went over that Saturday. We was gone Sunday. To Tuesday, we came back to school. Wednesday morning. I took a test Wednesday, and Wednesday night we was on the road to Florida State.
Really? So what were your most important moments that you had with your wife before you became married?
Before we got married?
Right.
Oh, we used to go to these frat parties. Now, she really didn't like to go. But I would come down to the college and the bros would be throwing parties. You know, I stopped by and see her first. But the bros, we throw the best party. Everybody know the Q's throw down. And the Q punch is out. It's out.
So after you guys got married, how was it?
Well, ain't nothing changed.
Nothing's changed.
Well, I mean, you know, she knows I still love my frat.
But are you still involving her the way you involved her before you guys were married?
What do you mean involved? What you mean?
Does she still participate in any frat events that you have?
Well, once a year she may come to the picnic that we may have with all the brothers, you know, bring their wives. But you know, it's the bros. You don't bring your wife to the bros be hanging out.
And what about your son Dezell? He's how old now?
I'm 17.
Okay. So does he attend the events as well?
No, not really. I don't know if he want to be able to make it now. I don't know what he want to do.
But he still could go. It's bonding time, don't you think?
Yeah, but you know, I don't have time to watch over him when I'm with the bros. Everything may pop off. Next thing you know, we'll be on another road trip.
So how did you and your wife meet, Mr. Richmond?
I was on a road trip down to the valley. I think Valley was playing Homecoming or something like that. I went down there and I saw this fine AKA. You know, the AKA got 20 pearls like the bros got 20 pearls.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Mr. Rich Dog, how is your traveling and all that you do with your fraternity impacted your relationship with your wife and son?
Well, on a serious note, you know, since you've asked that, I had the occasion this last time. One of my closest frat brothers kind of passed away, and I had a chance to talk to his wife. We were very close, and his son, and they were expressing how they wish he had spent more time home with them. And I began to kind of reflect back on, you know, I really hadn't spent a whole lot of time with my family. And I want to thank you for asking me that question, because I mean, there's only so much partying that a rich dog can do.
Right.
You know, but I mean, I enjoy partying now. Don't get me wrong, but I you know, I really should probably spend more time with my family. But I don't, you know, it's hard to make I mean, you don't know how the brothers be partying. I mean, you know, they throw down, they be throwing down hard.
I can
So
imagine.
I mean, so you know, but I guess I'm 56 now. I guess I need to
Yeah, you
really start
you're
reflecting.
37 years strong in the game.
Yeah, 37 years.
37
Good
years
years. Yeah, but I don't know. It's not an easy decision to make. I mean, is there any help or anything that you could offer me? I mean, I don't want to lose my son. I don't want to lose my wife. I love them both dearly. Yeah, I love my fraternity too, you know, and I kind of hope I don't want my son to feel anything, because all we do in fraternity is party, because our motto is manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had a prototype fraternity, you may have heard of them, called the Apples, but then they came with the Omegas, and I was the last. You know, you put something together for the first time to just see how it can work and operate,
Mm-hmm.
and then once you get the prototype out of the way, then you get the right thing, and you know, it's the Omega. So I would like to live my life, you know, manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift in a manner that will be respectful to him. I mean, you know, so maybe he won't be running around like I'm doing. I don't know, but you know, maybe you got some help or something, or somebody you can. I don't know.
Okay, Mr. Lathon. Well, it seems like you're starting to make a turnaround, and I've already spoken to your wife and your son, and I've already done some research on my own. And I have a lot of reliable sources and services that you could probably contact. This is a list of all the therapy and counselors that are around.
I know him and Kappa. I ain't going to no Kappa.
Okay, well, let's just scratch them off. Let's move on down the list. Okay. But I called once you get through looking and going through who you think.
Does it have to be a male?
No, it doesn't have to be a male. Whichever one you're comfortable with. You can even have someone that's close to your home.
Well, I know her right there. She a Delta.
Okay.
They said, you know, the angels in heaven wear red and white. So I'm gonna go with her.
Okay, so that's Miss Carter.
Yeah, let's go with Miss Carter.
Okay. So how soon would you like to start? And it's on
What's the date?
It's on your own
Well,
on your own preferences. No rush. Whatever is convenient for you. But today is the 20th. And here's the
Well, I
calendar.
mean, I know there's supposed to be a party tomorrow night.
Now, Mr. Lathon, when it comes to partying and your service and your counseling, you're gonna have to
You're
take one
right.
go.
You're right. I mean, you're right.
Okay,
You're
so
right.
let's
Okay,
just
okay.
let's if you're really serious
All right, as soon
about
as
this-
possible.
Right.
Whenever you can hook it up, I'll go.
Right. Okay. Well, we
Yeah, I'll go to her.
here. So you want to go to Miss Carter?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, this is what I can do for you. I can give you my card as well, and I can make a phone call over there. I know Miss Carter very well, and I can make a phone call and see what I can get her next session available to you, and then maybe we can have you and your wife and your son come and see what we can do to help you all. I can do that for you.
Well, I certainly appreciate it, and I want to thank you for taking the time.
And I want to thank you for making an effort to better your family.
Well, I don't want to lose my family.
Right.
So,
Because you've had 37 good strong years in your fraternity.
I ain't got to give it fat up all the way, though.
No, sir. You don't have to get afraid of. You just have to spend a little more time with your family. I'd rather you hold on to your family and then continue to go down the road with your friend. I'd rather you, because like I said, 37 years, it's been a minute. And you only have one family. So you should value your family.
Yeah, this is true.
Right.
Thank you again.
You're welcome. And like I said, I get this set up for you. You can take this home. Maybe you and your wife can go over it, and maybe there's someone else that you want to see. But you keep this list, and you keep my card, and I'll be making a phone call to you shortly, though.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I
Okay.
appreciate you so
You're
very
welcome.
much.
So is it safe to call you Mr. Richmond now?
No, it's there. I want to give it to Rich Dog. Now, I ain't gone just yet, but
Okay, you can
but
work
thank
for
you.
me. I'll
Thank
work with you.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate you helping me
Okay,
so very
I
much.
appreciate you, Mr. Rich Dog. And I'll be giving you a call. If not today, then it should be tomorrow before 12 noon.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Let me know how that goes for you.
All right.
Okay. In this group interview, Mr. Lathon and his son does not have the father-son relationship. Today, I am going to attempt to create a bond between the two and recommend them to family counseling. Please. evening. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm Miss Erica Dumas. I'll be your social worker for the
How you doing,
session.
Miss Jones?
All right. How you doing? Have a seat. Okay, what seems to be the problem today?
Well, it's really not a problem. I don't see that there's really a problem. I mean, my son and I mean, you know, I'm the father and the man of my house, and I don't see any problems.
Okay. Is there anything going on with you, Mr. Lake?
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on.
Can you elaborate on it?
Well, where should we start? You
know
want to start from the
like.
beginning, the middle, or the end?
However, anywhere you like. Now, Mr. Lathan, I see you get a little agitated.
Well, I don't know what he means.
Okay, we're going to let him explain his, and then you'll have your turn to talk. Okay, Mr.
Well, let's see. First of all, my dad is unemployed. He's an alcoholic and probably the worst father anyone can ever have.
Goodness.
What do you mean?
Mr. Lathan, just hold on 1 second. Okay, so you say he's unemployed. Is that affected? How's it affecting you?
Well, it didn't affect us at first, really. I think it was more of his own insecurity that someone else in the household could bring in more money than he could.
So your mom lives with you guys?
She used to.
So it's just you
We
and
all
your
used to
father?
live together.
So what do you say now?
I'm currently on my own.
Okay. Okay. So Mr. Lathan, you are unemployed?
Like I said, say something now?
Sure, go ahead.
Well, it's tough out here, man. You know, jobs ain't falling out the trees, you know, especially for a young black man.
I
At the time.
understand.
You know, that should be no excuse for him to say that I'm, you know, causing problems in the household. I provide when I can. I
Okay.
do get unemployment checks.
Okay. And you said he was an alcoholic?
Yes.
Well, black man, you know, don't drink.
Okay. Well, how often do you drink, Mr. Lathan?
Well, I mean, you know, I don't drink that much.
Do you drink enough to affect your son?
I'm the one doing the drinking. How is it affecting him?
Okay, let me ask you this. Mr. Lathan, how long has it been since you've been out of your house with your father?
I got out of my house on my 17th birthday through the process of emancipation.
So how old are you now?
Well, I didn't
I'm
make him
now
leave. He left
19.
on his own,
Mr.
though.
Lathan, there is a time when you have to talk, but you have to let your son talk. Maybe this is one of the issues that he's having, but you're going to have to let him talk first, and then you'll have your time to talk. Okay, Mr. Lathan, so
He
when
sound like he on his side.
Well, I'm not on his side, I'm not on anyone's side. But we do have to let him voice his opinion. Okay. So you say he was an alcoholic. So when you left the house, before you left the house, how was it affecting you? What would he do when he drunk?
Well, it's not what he would do to me. It's what he would do to my mother. Because through his drinking, it brought out something in him. And then he lashed out on my mother.
Okay.
So it's very hard when you have a father who's unemployed and alcoholic and who's abusing the only person who actually is helping the family.
Okay, so Mr. Lathan, the big Mr. Lathan, when you were a child, could you briefly explain to me who lived in your household?
What's that got to do with anything right now?
I'm going to get to that point, but I have to have these questions answered. So when you were a child, who lived with you?
I live with both my parents.
Both your parents. And can you explain the personalities of both your parents?
Well, my daddy was hard working, and every now and then when he got off work every Friday after working hard, he'd have some drinks.
Okay. So how was your personal one-on-one relationship with your mother
I had a good relationship with my mother.
and your father?
Well, I mean, my father didn't get along that well. But that had nothing to do with anything about me and my son, about me and my father. How they got something to do with him?
Okay, so you're saying to think that I'm going to ask you, what does it have to do with you and your son? So do you personally...
That's what it sounds like.
Okay, so do you think that you could have possibly affected your son because of your upbringing? The way you were affected by your father?
I don't understand. Are you trying to say that because my daddy drank and because I drank and I had a bad relationship with him that I got a bad relationship with my son?
I'm asking you that, yes.
Well, I don't see it. No, my dad and my dad's two different people.
So do you and your son ever sit down and talk about anything?
No,
No.
we don't.
And that makes you feel some type of way. Am I correct?
Yeah, it really does.
Anything you want to elaborate on that, Mr. Lathon?
Well, he's 17 years old. What we got to talk about?
I was 17 2 years ago.
Okay. And as far as being the worst father, how do you feel about that?
Some folks ain't even got a father.
Right.
That is true.
Maybe not.
I don't see anything funny. I really don't. You know, I took time off my job because you said it needs time to come down and talk
Miss
about
Simmons, honestly, all of this is really
saying.
a joke, really.
Okay, but
I have
you two?
finals coming up. I'm working on a minor international business. I really don't have time for someone who doesn't want to admit to their own personal problems, let alone admit the problems they created in other people's lives.
Okay, so how are you doing? You mentioned you're in school. How are your grades?
Oh, they're fine. They're actually excellent.
Okay, so you have great standing in school
Yes.
right now. Friends, social life?
Yes, everything's amazing.
Okay, so I see that, Mr. Lathon, I can have you try to refer you to a family counselor. Because it seems like
He doesn't do
look,
counseling.
no, that ain't happening. I'm not going.
So you don't want to consider it?
No, I don't have a drinking problem. I was not an abusive father. I mean, any other family, you know, fights and disagreements occur all the time, and families still get along.
Right, but in this case, it seems that it's affecting your son, or it has affected him, because when he was in the household, he was affected. Now he's moved on his own. He is successful, but it has played a part.
It toughened him up and grew him up. He out on his own, doing international business, making good grades. What else he want? What else you want?
Some
I don't
affection,
think that
I'm
was any
assuming.
thanks to you at all.
What? Who was thanks to your mother?
Well, I mean, before or after she left,
Where is your mom?
Yeah, where is she?
I don't
Mr.
even
Lathon?
know. He ran her away.
So you have no communication with your mother?
No.
She gone.
She's gone. But I said, do you ever try to venture out to your father?
No.
No,
No.
at all.
No. I live a great life now, and that's the way I want to keep it, unless he's willing to change. If he's not willing to change, then I'm not willing to meet him halfway.
So, Mr. Lathon, is there anything you feel that you can change to better your relationship with your son?
Well, you know, I'm really not understanding any of this at all.
Okay.
I'm just saying, and I know you're trying to do your job,
Uh-huh.
you know, and trying to help, and I really do appreciate it. Okay?
Thank you.
But at the end of the day, he's a grown man, and I'm a grown man, and I'm gonna do what I want to do. I ain't gonna see no counseling. Ain't no time for the government to be all up in my business. I ain't up in the government business, and I'm through with that.
Okay, well, you don't want the government in your business. Well, can I just ask that we start, let's take baby steps. So before the government gets in your business, do you think that you can, on your own, be willing to, at least once a week, have a conversation with your son? Take him out to eat, or take him to get a drink or something.
Well, that's supposed to be the problem, drinking. I mean, so you want to go have a drink with your dad and get a beer? That's fine. We can go get some beers together. I mean, you know, you're a grown man
I
now.
don't think that's conducive at all.
Well, you just heard the counselor say we could do it.
But if he doesn't drink, there's plenty of other.
Well, I think the major problem is that I'm underage. I think that might be
Okay,
the first
so
problem.
underage, no, I do not want you to do any illegal drinking. So how about a movie, or just a day at the park, or just something to get you and your son?
A day at the park.
Well, what do you like to do,
You
Yeah,
know
what do you like to do?
Mr. Lathon?
Well, I'm just saying, he never says to me.
But Mr. Lathon, that could be part of the problem. You have to learn how to communicate. You cannot overshadow your son. You have to let him voice his opinion, and then you come afterwards. So, Mr. Lathon, what are some of the things that you like to do?
I don't know. I would love for us just we can go home. We can sit somewhere, anywhere, like we are now, and just voice our opinions and talk.
So just chilling, quote unquote, as the young people say.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not too much to ask, is it, Mr. Lathon?
No. It's not.
Okay. So that's a start. That's baby steps. Your father doesn't think he's doing anything wrong, but we can go about taking a little baby step and just going home and you guys communicating with each other. And maybe the mom can come sometimes.
That's not happening.
If we can find it.
Okay, well, we're not going to talk about that. So let's just start with you two. Okay. Well, I think we've had a pretty good session. We've come some way. Don't you think?
Well, that all depends. If he changes when we get home.
Okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. since we're going to take the baby step, I want you to go home. And I want you to see if you can try to get somewhere just with each other at home, watching a football game or something. And I'm going to set you up for another appointment. Today is the 20th. I'm going to give you a week to come back. So how about you come back on the 27th?
This don't cost nothing, does it?
No.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't cost a thing.
All right.
You don't want the family counseling, so no, this is not going to cost a thing.
Okay.
So I'll set you guys back up on the 27th, and you come back and let me know how that little chilling bonding time went. Okay?
All right.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Mr. Lathon. I'm glad that I could have assisted you in any way.
Yeah, okay.
And once again, my name is Erica Dumas, and here's my business card.
Thank you
If
so
you need
very much.
anything, just contact me. Pleasure meeting you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.